Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Sorry for the slight delay. We had some technical difficulties, but we're adjusting right now. We got a good show tonight. We're gonna talk about the black gender war and its effects on the black community. So make sure you're able to tune in, ask questions. Um, Everything's available.
Guess. Yeah, so you got people trying to get in. You can go ahead and bring them in. I'm gonna go ahead and send the link.
All right.
Y'all got
How you doing,
a
Patricia?
like
Keisha?
a level for perspective. You have like a buzzing sound.
I can't hear you.
You got like a buzzing sound that's like overriding your voice.
Does it sound like a fan?
Nah, it's like a static when you talk.
Is your volume turned all the way up? Because I can barely hear you. I got the volume turned all the way up.
Yeah, I got my volume all the way up. Yeah, my mouth right in my mic.
Actually hear both you guys pretty well, so it might
Yeah,
be just a connection thing.
I heard you
Okay, yeah,
good too, baby.
I can hear yours.
Okay, your sound sounds better now, level.
Okay.
So y'all like,
So some of the topics we're gonna talk about tonight is we want to describe the leadership of the black men in the past and how it affected the community overall. Then we're gonna highlight the switch of leadership from patriarchy to matriarchy. We're gonna pinpoint the origin of the gender war and its perpetrators. Then we want to describe the community in its current state and the black woman's contribution to it. That should be a good one right there. Then we're going to delve off into who raised this new generation and instilled the current value system in our youth, and the rise and demise of Kevin Samuels and the ripple that it has and will cause in the future. Then we're going to end it with, as of 2022, who's winning the war? Anybody got any comments for any of that?
so you can go ahead and talk about your first topic.
I could speak on the results of our generation now. What led
Okay.
to it. If you really think about it, the generation of 36 and below, in my opinion, they are the result of the crack epidemic.
I agree. I've heard that. I've heard that too. And I feel bad for the brothers and sisters who of that age. And yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that.
Yes.
I feel bad
Yes.
for the brothers and sisters of that age.
Because if you really think about it, everybody who's 35 and below, their parents.
All right,
their
go ahead.
parents
I couldn't hear you. I got interrupted.
I am the monster after all.
everybody who's 35 and below, their parents were teenagers or early 20s being, introduced to games, crack, and all of that. So to me, it's a ripple effect. A lot of men were being thrown, a lot of the black fathers were being thrown in prison or even killed over colors.
Nature's compass can't track down fortresses.
I bring that topic up to a lot of people, and a lot of people, they seem to overlook that. They forgot about that. It's a trip that you bring that up because that's one of the main things that happened in
Yeah. And
in
the mothers,
between 92 and 95
yeah,
when
the
the three
mothers were
strikes
being
bill.
pushed into projects, you know.
Oh yeah, anybody that's listening, if you're not talking, if you could please mute your mic because we hear the feedback.
I remember that I had vein line right there. As soon as I just said mine that I was like, I have vein line.
Am I muted?
It's at the bottom of your screen to the left.
Can't say that if I had mined a block on the bridge.
There you
Bottom to your left. Okay, there you
go.
go.
She got it.
There you go. Okay.
Um, so most of the black men were either thrown to prison,
Right.
killed from gang shit, and the mothers were pushed into, projects, housing,
Hmm.
and those the kids that are 35 and below are the result of that. We have a lot of mama's boys.
Right.
that-
As a direct result from having the man removed from that household.
Right.
Um, would you say that what type of men? Because obviously all the men didn't get locked up, but the ones that escaped that, what do you think? What was up with them? The ones that stayed, because obviously the ones who went to jail was brothers who was out there doing things, whether he was selling dope, gang banging, or just being a criminal. At some point, they got all of them off the streets. So that left what type of dudes out there
Uh,
for the women to choose from?
that left the men who went to the military. We had to also think about that. A lot of brothers went to the military in between 85 to 95. Um, and then the brothers left out here, the good, hardworking brothers, that didn't get into gangs or selling dope or whatever. They just went for the more, I would say, top, what Kevin Samuels would say, top value women.
So what's a top? What do you mean by top value women?
That's a good question.
Top value women are the women who are actually educated, ambitious, classy, didn't have a lot of kids.
And who went for them?
The guys who didn't sell dope or gang bang or you know get into the
I'm sorry.
street or
I don't think that's true, but I don't think it's my time to jump in. But okay,
No, you can definitely jump in if somebody has difference in opinion.
because
You
I don't.
definitely jump in.
Okay, now we're talking about okay, because I don't think they went for the top value women. Honestly, I think they more went for they were taught like especially in the 80s they were taught that light bright damn near white, or you know what I'm saying, like I think they went for what they considered beautiful, which was European beauty. That's what I think they
right,
went for.
right. And if you think about it,
That's not top value women.
but if you
That's
think about
just
it,
yeah.
but if you think about it though, back in the late 80s, 90s, high yellow women were considered the top value.
But it was more than the 80s and the 90s. It's kind of like actually been through history. That's why they had the
Yeah,
brown
true.
paper bag test.
But we're talking about the result of the generation now who are 35 and below, how they
But
became,
that
how
okay, but that wouldn't be part of the result because that's been going on in the black community since we can think of. So I don't think that had
no.
anything to
No,
do with yeah.
I would say it's definitely a result because I mean, if we look at it from a realistic standpoint, let's start with the early '90s. Let's start with '92, the riots of the Rodney King riots. That's a good starting point. Whether if you from California or you know about it, either way it's the same. But in
Yeah, I'm from Cali.
1992, the riots happened. Myself as well. In '92, the riots happened, and because of the way that happened, you don't even have those type of brothers on the streets no more. You've not seen one riot that was similar to the Rodney King riots. The Rodney King riots, the verdict came out. Them brothers didn't like what they heard. They took to the streets, and a race war ensued. These new ones now is social media made. It's BLM. It's a whole lot of things going on. That the Rodney King riots was organic. That was a real riot. The rest of these ones, they're all contrived. It's social media. It's BLM. It's a whole bunch of different entities involved. And I would say that from the LA riots, they knew that they had to come up with a law, and they came up with the 85%, and they came up with the three strikes law. I was one of the victims of the 85%. and a lot of brothers got put, you know, a lot of brothers got locked up. So that left dudes who wasn't into that lifestyle getting locked up, running the streets. That left the working dudes, that left them out there, and that's what the women had to choose from. I also think that in that group of men was the video game players, the ones who didn't go outside, like the weirdos that y'all didn't want. So they were in abundance out there. All the gangsters, all the slick dudes, all of them got locked up. So that left the so-called square dudes. There was some regular dudes out there too, but
I actually wanted the weirdos. I didn't never like and I'm 42, just to state my age. So
they were out there.
the
They were.
90s is when I was in high school, junior high, high school. I didn't like the dope dealers. I didn't like the gang bang. I didn't fuck with that type. I preferred the geeks and the gamers and stuff like that. Plus my grandparents were very strict, so they watched me like a hawk because due to my mom, they spoiled my mom and she actually got into gangs and selling dope. That whole uh that whole era of people transporting cocaine and crack from Cali to
Right.
Arkansas. My mama was wrapped up in that. She's a OG Crip. So yeah, I have a hell of a life story.
So
I
so
got to see
I
all
got a question
worlds.
for you. So did you end up with one of the the nerds and one of them type brothers?
No, I'm still single. I can't find. I'm not gonna say find because I'm not even searching. I haven't ran into what I'm looking
From
for.
even from back then?
Yeah, even from back then.
That's crazy you say that because I can remember distinctly in the '90s. I remember brothers who was hitting the streets and doing shit. And I remember a lot of brothers who wasn't who didn't gang bang, who had jobs, wasn't trying to go to jail. I know a few of them, and
I
they
mean,
they
I know some, but they already involved. So I didn't. We're just basically like platonic friends.
so would you say you more in tune with what they represent now as opposed to back then?
I've always been with it, for my people, but it's gaps, moving out of state, losing touch with people. So, but at the end of the day, we're still on the same level that we were back then,
Back then, yeah.
mentally,
Right,
I
right,
think
right.
we worse.
Oh yeah,
Honestly.
it's definitely worse now. I mean, y'all might disagree with this. Y'all might, I suspect you're gonna adamantly disagree, but I would say that it's way worse now, and the reason why it's way worse now is because the men aren't in the home because the women are raising the kids.
Oh
That's what's
yeah,
worse.
it's definitely worse. I'm staying with my little sister right now, and sometimes I have to get on her about presentation and kids, and because her husband divorced or whatever. So yeah, I know. And I grew up
So
with
whose fault is it that the men aren't in the home?
It's the men's fault because getting wrapped up in that whole ideology of the gangster and the drugs and whatever pitfall it was. Because it ain't too many brothers walking around can say that just natural elements gave them a bad hand. A lot of us, we chose to do what we do. I know in myself speaking, I chose the path that I took when I ended up in prison. White man didn't twist my arm behind my back. So I'm definitely open to admitting to that. But once the brothers get locked up and the women are there rearing the kids, they have a choice at that point to come anew by going a different route. And normally they don't. They just repeat the same steps. So at that point, you can't blame the men at that point.
Wait, what do you
yeah,
mean?
because
Okay, you got to explain that a little more because I don't understand what you meant.
Okay. Let's say sister with a brother and he running the streets and he gets locked up. That's his fault. He done left his family. He done went to jail. That's his fault. Now, when she gets back out there into the dating world, she has a choice. She know what she just been through. So if you choose the same situation, that's not anyone's fault but the woman's alone. And that's what happens with a lot of them.
can we see the future? I mean, like, how can you tell a guy is gonna, when you
Oh,
first meet him, he's gonna be
yeah,
there or leave?
yeah. This how you can tell. You review what your past child's father, what he was all involved in, and if anything with the new dude remotely symbolizes that, then that's kind of like a red flag. That
Oh, I
kind of
want to
shows.
speak on this. I want to
What
speak
if
on
that's
this.
all in your community though?
Oh, but then there's the thing called trains, planes, and automobiles,
I
and
want to speak on that
you gotta get
question.
on one of those.
Yeah, so open your
But
horizons, right?
Yeah,
you,
definitely.
you said, how do you know if a dude is, worth being with or having a child by? I've always had, uh, I feel like a person, you should get to know a person that 6 months, you could pretty much tell what type of person somebody is. If they're reliable, dependable, trustworthy, 6 months, you should know. I've
By that time, you in love.
no, because you have control over your own emotions. You have control over your own feelings. 6 months is really not that long, but it's long enough for you to go through 3 different seasons with a person. In 6 months, somebody is going to have a loss of a loved one, financial issues, just everyday life issues, and you get to see all different faces of that person in 6 months. Now, if you,
I disagree. I
I
totally disagree with
agree.
that because people lie.
I
Because
totally
people
agree. If
lie.
you're dating someone, you will definitely know and have a whole synopsis of what type of person they are after 6 months. If you don't know who you're dating after 6 months, it's a problem somewhere.
I think. Would you say within that six? Okay, so can you kind of like sum up what type of experiences they both share within that 6 months? Because 6 months it is a nice span of time, but it depends on the quality of time that you spend with that person and the stuff that
Right,
y'all
that's
do
what I'm
together.
saying. If you're dating, if you two are dating and you're really feeling each other and vibing, in
Mhm.
6 months you should have that person all summed up. You should know if this person is responsible to pay bills, if they're a liar, uh, if they're gonna actually keep a job and work,
Mhm.
how they handle family problems. Like I said, deaths in the family. You go through all that with somebody in 6 months. So after 6 months, you should know what type of person this is, if this is somebody that you want to go longer with. So when I hear people saying, "Oh, I was with him for 2, 3 years and just out of nowhere," no, no.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I'm
see,
too.
in 6 months, if you don't put yourself in that infatuation cloud and just sit back and observe, you will really know who you're dating.
I agree, but I think you putting I mean that's a lot on. I mean, there's parents. You said 6 months to get to know somebody, and that's factoring in if
Yeah,
you got
even if that
to.
person got kids, even if that person got kids, 6 months is enough time to observe how they interact with their kids. How many times have they told you, "Hey, let me call you back. Let me help these kids with the homework," or me and
But
the kids are.
what about parents that don't even know they live with their kids and they don't even know their kids what they do outside the home. So that's 6 months. That I don't know about that one. Yeah, I mean you should have an idea, but I think that's kind of strenuous right there as where.
Yeah, if you're dating someone who has kids and their kids don't live with them, still in 6 months, you will see how that person interacts with their children. Their
Right.
their emotions towards their children, their ambition to be with their children or whatever. In 6 months, you'll know.
What about people that don't know their own kids? What goes on
What,
underneath their own roof with their kids for
what you
years?
mean?
for years.
What you
Women,
mean?
certain things I was doing, my mother didn't know about it, and I live with her, so I don't know about this 6 months thing with knowing everything that your potential partner is into and what they're involved with.
I mean, actually, to me, 6 months is not even. If personally, if I had kids, they wouldn't get to meet someone until I've been dating them for a year.
Oh, that no, okay. Now in a situation like that, then yeah, that's a little bit more leeway there. Yeah, I can agree.
That's me personally. If I had kids, but I don't have kids. So, but if I had kids, whoever I'm dating wouldn't get to come around, and they would know about them. You know what I'm saying? They would know about my kids, but they wouldn't be around them quality time like that until after I've dated them a year.
So most don't do that. So we in a situation now where it's pretty much the microwave relationships.
Right. Everything is microwave these
Right,
days.
right. And then the kids get the short end of the stick because
Yeah, the kids are getting fucked
they're
up,
home.
with
They're home.
this whirlwind of different people.
So how would let's talk about the leadership of the black man in the past and how it affected the community overall.
Oh, me growing up with my grandpa, um, uncles, cousins, I got to see, um, like I said, I got different perspectives of all worlds growing up. I got a different perspective of the dope selling world, the game, the drugs, the shit when I was with my mama. Whenever I would go stay with my mama and her boyfriends and that side of the world. But then when I go back home to my grandparents, I got my grandpa who, didn't do drugs, worked a 9 to 5, was straight square all the way around. So I got to see the effect on the community from both ends. From the men like my grandpa, who made sure the kids were in order in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Y'all too loud, or quit standing around all ganged up like that. What y'all doing? Y'all want to make some money? That's the type of shit my grandpa would say to the young boys in the neighborhood. Y'all just standing around in a circle. Y'all want to make some money? I got a couple of trees need to be cut down.
Right,
I got this alternator need to be pulled out. Then I got to see the other side of the world with the black men who were in gangs and selling dope. They buying all the kids in the neighborhood ice cream, or paying the little dudes to come clean their cars, or shit like that. And I had uncles, even though they were in gangs, they still protected the women. Like, I can remember some of my so-called Crip uncles, back in the day, that kind of just stood in the yard and just protected the house.
right.
So I don't see none of that anymore from both sides.
I agree with that.
I do
Hey,
too.
can I take it back just a little bit? Because I heard something in reference to colorism in the black community. Now I do, and I do 1000% believe that colorism does exist, and we know who all originated colorism in the black community.
Right.
But the current perpetrators, or what I've seen in my 42 years of life, I've seen black women combing their daughter's hair, telling them how nappy your hair's so fucking nappy. I done seen black women. I ain't never seen no black man tell his child that her hair is nappy.
Yeah,
I've never seen a black man tell his children, don't go outside in the sun because you're gonna get too dark. But I have seen this from black women. So I'm just wondering, do you guys think what part do black men play in the colorism argument? Because
They don't.
let me put one more thing into it. Because we can say that, oh, these dudes, they want the foreign, the light skin, light bright. But we got to think of the last 50, 60 years, who raised these men. So they sitting in a house where light, bright, and quote unquote good hair is top tier.
I
But
could tell you where it comes
I can
from.
go back. I can go back and
Oh,
look at I can look at family albums from the 1950s, and everybody was black and beautiful and nappy, and it wasn't all that. So can I get somebody to chime in on that? Because the colorism thing kind of
I could tell
brought
you
up
where
that
it
thought.
comes from. And this is speaking from my grandmother was dark skin, very dark skin. And she worked on a plantation as a nanny. And she had a color complex. And that's where it comes from. Because the lighter skinned women with the better grade of hair got to be picked and be in the house doing laundry, cooking the food. The more darker skinned women with the nappier hair were treated like shit and had to stay in the outhouse. And I always, y'all is so crazy because I said I really need to write a book about my life. My grandmother would sometimes walk past my room and see me in the mirror doing my hair, trying to figure out new hairstyles or whatever. She'd tell me, "You ain't cute. Get your ass out that mirror." They
Damn.
just, you light skinned with them pretty eyes. You think you cute. You ain't cute.
I do think it came from women a lot. It
It,
did.
did. It did.
Came because even in our family, Dante, you already know because we
Because it was a,
And that's my sister, by the way, for those
sorry,
who don't
I was trying
oh,
know.
hey, Sandra.
to
It was a
but
pressure on darker skinned women with kinkier hair. So it came from them. It came from that type. You know what I'm saying? If they had to have certain hair textures and skin tones to even be allowed in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then from my perspective, I grew up a dark skinned boy with regular nigga hair, watching certain sisters idolize light skinned men, watching my own mother.
I
I
ain't gonna
love
lie.
my mother, but watching my mother
Mhm.
idolize light skinned men.
Hmm.
I saw that. So
I,
what effects do you think that
I
had on me as a child? And that didn't come from
really
black men. That didn't
And
come from
y'all
black
was
men.
crazy.
I idolized light skinned men. I did. And I think that did kind of come from my mom because I knew who did that guy she liked, that singer
Smokey Robinson.
Smokey
She
Robinson.
loves she
She did.
loves Smokey
Love it.
Robinson.
Smokey
Ah, that's
Robinson.
my third cousin.
But I think Mama was more so in love with his hair than with his skin color, honestly.
I get
That's
it, but
my that's
I'm just
my
talking about,
great
yeah,
grandmother's nephew. So is that like third cousin? Great
somewhat
grandmother
probably a little more
nephew.
distant than that, but yeah,
Yeah.
I kind I kind of see it in the eye region. But
Yeah.
but just
And we had at the time, which now all our families, we have so many light skinned people in our family, but at the time, everybody in our family was dark skinned except for one of my mom's youngest sisters. She was obviously by a different father because she was the only light skinned one with curly hair. And everyone in my family idolized her children because of their skin color. Everybody in my family.
Yeah.
Wow.
Am I
I
right,
never got
Dante?
idolized, but because it's crazy because my great grandmother was black and Latino, and she married a very dark skinned Blackfoot Indian, and all of her kids came out very dark skinned, which my grandmother was one of those
Mm-hmm.
very dark skinned. And my grandmother ended up marrying a Cherokee Indian with hazel eyes, and I took more of his features because my mom was just all the way him. My mom was spitting image of her daddy, the good so-called good hair, lights, very high yellow. So they spoiled her. My grandmother completely spoiled her because, like I told you, she had a color complex. She spoiled my mom. That's how she ended up being in the streets, gangs. She moved to California in the 80s, and that's, got into the gangs and all that shit. So I was the one who got all of the discipline. I was the one that got the backlash and the results of my mom being spoiled. Because my mom got to go live her best life and I got stuck with my grandparents.
I,
So,
I, I would have to say this is because I brought up that point before to black women, and this is the first time I've ever heard black women take accountability for that. Because I do think that's something that has been perpetuated by black women, and
mm,
it's something I haven't seen black men do until recent. But yeah, I want to
Now,
keep
I gonna just put that on women now.
yeah,
okay.
but y'all
Laura,
know what?
Holler at
I
me then.
only heard
Tell
light
me something different.
skin.
no, let me chime in right quick. I didn't grow up in a household like that, honestly. I grew up, my mama, I felt like we was the most beautiful people in the world. Never knew anything about colorism. I did hear about the hair thing, like my mom did like she like, curly hair and stuff, because of what she went through as a child with her, she had her hair wasn't really, like, I ain't gonna say 4C, but it wasn't considered good hair. So when she had a couple of my siblings have the curly hair and stuff, and my mom liked the curly hair, but I don't think she never made a difference. But dang, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
But
Um
what do you think of the psychological effects of that? Okay, you and Chantel, y'all got a certain texture of hair. What about her other daughters who didn't have, like, do you think they felt any type of way about their hair? Because I noticed you and Chantel were the ones who didn't get the weaves and all that other stuff.
yeah, I've had some of my sisters voice to me that um they hated, not I said they hated themselves, but they were disappointed and was asking God, like, why didn't I get that hair? Why didn't I did have some sisters tell me?
Man,
And that's because people is texturism too. And I'm not gonna lie, growing up, a lot of people, they used to, but actually they used to think I had a curl because I was dark. So they couldn't believe that I had wavy curly hair. They used to actually think I had a curl. So I mean, nobody believed my hair was real anyways, only because I was dark. So my hair texture didn't give me like that.
But I would say the whole texturism argument and colorism, they kind of go hand in hand with it. So can we move along? What other topics did we have? Because we kind of went a little bit off the beaten path.
the next one is we can highlight the switch of leadership from patriarchy to matriarchy.
Okay. Anybody like to chime in on that? How we went from male ran communities where we think of Tulsa, Black Wall Street, and all the things that were built after slavery to female ran communities, in the late 60s after the civil rights movement. So what do you think are the effects of that?
Easy. Welfare. Welfare. That's how that happens.
And what I said earlier about
Instead of
most of the black men getting locked up or dying or going to the military, a lot of that. It
Um,
came in
Black
during
woman,
that era.
I don't agree with the welfare thing because people always throw it up and say, "Oh, welfare took the man out the house." No, where they did have that law, and it was in effect for like what, a year and a half or something before a black woman went to Supreme Court to have that abolished. So men leaving home ain't nothing to do with welfare.
What say
I
you,
didn't hear
Derek?
that.
What? Oh, okay.
I'll
She
agree
said
with
the
her
what?
too.
She
I
said
don't think welfare did not drive the black men out of home because a lot of women were lying and still letting their men stay there. They had a lot of that
No,
still
no.
goes
I
on
mean,
to
no.
this. That still goes
If
on
you
to
look
this
at
day.
welfare, if welfare was going to help anybody at all, then why should you take the father out of the home? The father should have stayed. And it's true. Welfare is one of the main causes. Welfare and the war on drugs, and they put the drugs in the neighborhood in the areas where the welfare recipients were living. Not to mention the Vietnam War that caused a bunch of black men to go over there and see all kinds of death and blood and guts, and then they come back here, they brains fucked up. There was no mental health centers for them, nothing. So when you do that, and this black woman don't know what the fuck happened over there. All she knows is this nigga is not the same nigga that she met when that nigga left.
Okay, now the next question is what was the like what were some of the effects of that shift in leadership? And because we all agree that there has been a shift in leadership in the black community where we were once a patriarchy, now we're a matriarchy. What are some of the effects from going from being in a patriarchal state to a matriarchal state? How has that affected the community, positive or negative?
Negative. Majority of black women don't respect the black man no more.
And majority of black men do not respect black women. As a matter of fact, I think black men hate the mom who stayed and tried. You know what I'm saying? And they don't blame the one who abandoned and left. And I think that's a big part of the black community right there.
Could you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah. Elaborate on that.
Because they blame their moms. It's like I feel like a lot of guys they hate their moms. They feel like their mom ran their dad away, you know, and they want a relationship with their dad. Their dad is nowhere to be found. Then they blame the mom, even though she's the one. Yeah, not saying she did everything right, because obviously these men these days are messed up in the head, obviously. But she stayed and tried. No one ever blames the black man who left and abandoned.
We get blamed all the time.
I always hear them saying, my single mama, single baby mothers. And I think it's black men's fault why there's so many single baby mothers.
Well, no, it's not all black men's fault. Let me address that real quick, Dante. Because
I was just thinking of something called sexual responsibility. So, like our parents, they got together 1967. Mama got pregnant. What they do? They went and got married and stayed married for 30 years. Because there was not a social safety net that was going to coddle my mother as a single. Now, today, a child is a paycheck. You getting the child support. You got the food stamps, the Section 8.
I wish I could have finished my addressment.
A normal black man.
I just got all the way cut off.
Go ahead. Go ahead, D.
So my whole thing about that situation is this. Here it is. There's no mental health centers for anybody. I know plenty of black men that have grown up with mothers that are dysfunctional, that are damn near borderline crazy. Let's not talk about the abusive black women that get mad at the fathers and abuse the fucking children. I can't tell you how many times I've seen Child Protective Services being called on black women in the hood. Now, here's the deal. We already know that the prison system is set up the way it is so that black men can get in there. At the end of the day, if what we were told in the black community is that we could dog our fathers, but we don't have to hold our mothers accountable. You better not say nothing about your mama because she raised you. At least she didn't abort you. Like, that's a fucking grand prize. This bitch beat the shit out of me and called me all kinds of names, fucking up my self-esteem and fucking me up so badly that I can't have a relationship with a woman because I don't know what a real fucking woman is. Anybody want to address that?
Women.
That's not what I saw. Because my family gonna be. I know one of my sisters got 3 different baby daddies. Now, normally you would look at that and be like, oh yeah, she a whore, this and that. Yeah, she's out to mess with me. She wasn't even like that. She got 3 different baby daddies because all 3 of her baby daddies wasn't shit, and it wasn't her fault. You know what I'm saying? My sister is a good one.
But hold on. How your baby daddy wasn't shit, but you picked the motherfuckers? You picked the ain't shit niggas. You picked the worst niggas.
In other words, if you're saying pick better men, then don't pick a black man. That's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying pick better men. Meaning those motherfuckers before you open your legs.
Fortunately, that's what's in our community. So you're saying pick.
I know which sister you're talking about. So you saying she wasn't I'm gonna let you chime in, Tony, 1 second. You saying she wasn't responsible for the men she allowed in between her legs and let them ejaculate in it? You saying she holds no responsibility for that? Did they break up in her room at night and bust in her?
And or any men, black men that she picked. Yes, it's her
Okay,
fault
hey,
picking.
Tony, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
And that reverts back to my 6 month rule. A lot of people, and that's another effect of the black man no longer being in the home. Nobody is teaching the values of dating and really getting to know people anymore. If people will revert back to actually dating and not jumping straight into relationship, having babies, doing all that extra shit, it will resolve a lot of bullshit in our community too.
That's true.
We don't
Yeah,
date anymore.
because they haven't been taught how to date.
We don't take our time. Half of
Look,
these people that's having kids with each other, they be pregnant in the first 2, 3 months of knowing that person.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to the original point, the lack of community. Because back in the day, you probably got with somebody who you grew up with. So you
Right.
kind of knew you knew and you saw their character throughout their life to tell if
Exactly.
they was about something or not. So
but
so
let me
so
ask you this question.
who you
Let me
asking?
ask you this question. After you have your first child with an ain't shit nigga, shouldn't you be even more protective of your womb after you have a child with an ain't shit nigga? Because if you have 3, 4, 5 different baby daddies, and in America right now, black women beat us, they outnumber us by 2.8 million, and they double the number in children. Except, and black men, they have half of that number in children. So if that's the case, then that means that black women are sleeping with the same fucking idiots. Knowing, look at Future. They sleeping with the same fucking idiots, knowing these niggas ain't got shit, knowing that all they do is look good. And then
I got,
hoping that you're gonna change this motherfucker, and you ain't gonna change him.
I got a homeboy, two homeboys. One of them got 10 children, and the other has 12 children.
Yeah. They sleeping with the same niggas.
See, I can't speak on that because I've always been very picky and observe who I am allowing into me raw. Period. And I don't have any kids. I would have had my son would have been turning 3 years old next month. And I had known his father 12 years before we even went that route. And yeah, I don't see how women do it. That's all
So
I can say.
so going back to that, you basically stated, Chandra, that she can't be blamed. Like she just happened to choose, just like he said. After the first ain't shit baby daddy, like she didn't realize scrutiny. Like, okay, I'm gonna be super careful with my
Like to
womb now.
understand that.
Okay, and then the third one, okay, like when does her personal responsibility come into play?
Right.
Oh, your volume down.
I don't know. I think we lost Chandra for a second. Oh,
Yeah.
there she go. You back? You back?
Well, for my sister, which I'm not gonna say which one.
Yeah, we're not gonna put her out there.
Back in the day, actually, she was very guarding. Like I used to call her. We used to laugh at her and call
We
her.
thought we
call her
fast forward into the three ain't we fast forward into the ain't shit niggas. Whatever she did back in the day is irrelevant.
Okay.
I'm talking about how she ended up getting 3 ain't shit niggas consecutively and having children by all of them.
It wasn't consecutively. It was through the sheet. Her children are far apart, as you see.
But that's still consecutive. Every child she had was by ain't shit nigga.
They lied, especially the last one. You already know he was a compulsive liar. So that's why I said that's 6 months.
I mean, I don't.
Unless you go into his house and
Yeah, that 6 month count because
tell you a
you know
drink.
what? In that 6 months, how many lies did he tell in the first 3 months?
But how do you know? When do you realize?
What exactly? I need to know the lies he told.
Right.
But
first off,
I would say it goes to the value system. The criteria by which black women choose men is stupid as fuck.
You're right.
I grew up in a house with 6 sisters, and I watched them throw good niggas by the wayside to go find an ain't shit nigga. Tell me I'm lying.
Yes, you're lying.
And you know what? You don't remember the good niggas because they was forgettable.
And
Because
that's
I
usually
seen
how
videos.
it is in the black community. They pick
That's how it is. Y'all
the
choose.
one that
You even
every other
said,
bitch wants.
you
Hey,
even talked about criteria by
I ain't
which
gonna
you
lie.
chose one.
I like thugs. I grew up liking thugs.
And see, I can't relate.
Thank you.
I
Thank
can't
you.
relate to most black women on that
So if
because
you like,
I can't relate
Okay.
to most black women on that because I did have my grandpa in my ear every day, my grandma in my ear every day, my aunt who stayed across the street, who was a lieutenant in the army, in my ear every day. You know, I had bougie aunties, and it was always don't no man want no dumb woman. You don't want no dumb man. You know, get you somebody who's educated that cares about school, that's not out here doing this or doing that. You know, pay attention to a man's actions and how he handles this and how he does it. So I can't relate with a lot of black women who fall for these type men.
So
I
because
can't.
I'm gonna just
what
be
is the
honest.
allure? What is the allure, Chandra? What is the allure of a thug? Because I see that all throughout the community. Like
Protection.
Tony may be an exception to the rule, but and then we'll let you chime in after this, D.
I don't know. My mom always said I like mean boys, and I guess I don't know. I just like thuggish men. Look where I grew up in South Central Los Angeles, around gang bang. You know what I'm saying? That's
Just
why.
say it, protection.
Yeah, and
And
I
You
like
get protected
dominant men.
though.
I guess that's what I looked at thugs as dominant men. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's what most women do. They look at thugs because TV promotes the male image as a thug. And I'm gonna shoot this motherfucker. I'm gonna kill this motherfucker with my bitch. Yeah, if you put that in somebody's head, then guess what? They see that male as a protector. But a black man that sister granddaddy told her this is who you look for. They may call him lame and don't talk to him because he ain't talking about shit. And then 50, 30 years later, you find out that this motherfucker's a doctor, the one that you passed on, and
well,
then the other thug, he in fucking prison.
Black Knights, you came in a little late. I grew up to I was able
What
to
happened? Hold on.
I was able to see both sides of the spectrum. The hood niggas selling dope and gang banging and the 9 to 5 blue collar dudes.
Yeah, but
And
here it is. They just did a street walk through Florida for spring break, and they asked all the black girls. They was like, "Yo, you want a 9 to 5, a scammer, or a drug dealer?" Guess what? Every last one of them motherfuckers said, "I want a fucking scammer and a drug dealer." They ain't say nothing about no fucking 9 to 5s. Guess why? Because that's what the culture promotes. And then not only that, we ain't got big mamas no more. Big mama used to tell you go sit your motherfucking punk ass down and close your goddamn legs. But they ain't got that no more. You know why?
that part.
Because you had the pastors in the church fucking with fucking Big Mama while Big Daddy was fucking gone and making fucking cheering here fucking way and telling this motherfucking Big Daddy over down the street fucking another woman, and then you don't find none of that shit out until the motherfucker died.
So how does black women, you said you and I see this across the board, so we can say it's a large majority. How do you think that affects the current state of the community?
How does it affect the current state of the community? Because it deludes the mind to think that it's pedestalizing. What I see in the black community is this. If you look at right now at where the money's going, all the money, the billions of dollars. See, I wish black women would call it for what the fuck it is. It is now, it ain't about equal rights. It ain't about feminism. It's about superiority now. It ain't got shit to do with anything. Because look who they go after every time. Every fucking election, they go after fucking black women. You don't hear them say shit about fucking black men. At the end of the day, black women have to stand up and say, you know what? Hey, I can't let my fucking black men down and while these motherfuckers burning and killing niggas, walking in fucking stores and killing motherfuckers because they ain't changed shit. They dog Kevin Samuels out and wish this motherfucker dead, but I ain't seen none of you motherfuckers march and go wish that motherfucker the nigga who killed Trayvon Martin. You ain't see, ain't nobody fucking with the police department. Y'all ain't getting up and going crazy. Black Lives Matter really is Black Lesbians Matter.
Where are the black men? And Black Lives Matter is mostly women.
They in prison.
It's
They
women
in prison. That's where them niggas at. Half them
Black
niggas in
lives,
prison.
Black Lives Matter.
Black
Now,
lesbians matter.
No,
they're not for
um,
black. The
no.
Black Lives Matter on their website. They said they wanted to destroy the concept of a nuclear family,
I
What
and
was
swear.
that's why we
And
in this mess right now.
Black
they
lesbians
they
matter.
say Black Lives Matter on their website. They say that they support the transgenders.
Fuck them.
They
Fuck
say
them.
it.
Because
They
guess
don't.
what? At
They
the end
don't
of the
say
day, back
anything
in the day,
about
our
supporting a
granddaddies, our
black man.
grandfathers wouldn't have never went for that shit. And y'all want to support motherfuckers who are trying to fucking change creation. We used to be soulful fucking people who believed in God and who believed in right and wrong and morality. But what we've done, we started following other fucking trends because we thought we was free. We weren't free. They just put us in different cages.
Nowhere on Black Lives Matter website will you see
Man,
that
fuck Black Lives
they
Matter and
they
fuck that
they
bitch.
don't they don't say anything on there about
I
supporting the
don't give a
black.
fuck. I ain't
Can
following them
can
bitches.
I can I
No,
finish?
hey, D, let her finish. She on your side. My
Dang,
nigga, chill
My
out.
bad, my bad.
you
Hey,
ain't
My
even
bad. I
let
hate them
me
motherfuckers.
finish. I'm trying to tell you that they don't. That nowhere on the website do they say they support black men, black
No, they
straight
don't.
men. You've been the whole time I've been
They
agreeing
support
with you,
black
and
women.
you ain't been letting me talk.
My bad, sister. I
They
just hate them motherfuckers. I hate them bitches with a passion. Because these motherfuckers here, they got billions of dollars off the backs of dead black men. And then we sit here and watch this shit go down daily. And then here come this bitch crying. I thank God for Candace Owen, punk ass Republican little ass. She exposed some shit the other day, last week. She went out to that bitch house. That bitch talking about, I was trying to help. And everybody's bitch, where the money at, ho? We've been asking this shit for goddamn 3 years, bitch.
The only time Black Lives Matter cares about black men is when they dead and they can capitalize off the movement.
Yeah,
Just
that's
like you
it.
said, on their website, they ain't got nothing to say about black men. Hey,
No.
Lamar, where we at with the next topic? Because we went off as usual. It happens. It happens.
Describe the community in its current state and black women's contribution to it.
So
a zoo, a
Shahrazad Ali,
zoo.
she did a lot of talks
It's a
when she
zoo,
wrote her
and the
book
black
about
woman
the
is zoo.
black man's guide to understanding the black woman. I'm gonna just give her a synopsis so we can all chime in. Now, in there, she said the white community has always been talked about for their role in the detriment. In our detriment, the black man and his role in our detriment, but we've never sat down and put the black woman under a microscope and talked about her role in the detriment of the black community. What role do you think she played in the detriment of the community? Feel free to chime in.
All right, I'm gonna say something real quick. I'm gonna let everybody else go. Okay.
Go ahead.
I heard a black woman say the other day on YouTube, she said, are black women the new Jim Crow to the black family? Because instead of being a family, you treat your kids like property. You go to the white man to get fucking child support, welfare, and everything, instead of working with that man that you want to keep. Now, this is what she said. This ain't my words, but I understand because I got 3 kids and they mamas ain't shit. When I say ain't shit, ain't shit. But they ain't shit bitches I picked, okay? At the end of the day, black women have not sit and looked at themselves and said, you know what, hey, we are actually causing some of the problems. Here it is, Cardi B and fucking Megan Thee Stallion posted this fucking song, WAP, and got their kids, huh?
Wait up, Chandra, let him finish and then we're gonna let you chime right in after.
Black, so don't put her in this.
No, but Cardi B she's in the community now. She in the culture. Y'all accepted this bitch. This bitch plays a fucking song called WAP.
Dumb black women have accepted her. I haven't. I'm not a dumb black woman. So.
Because this bitch speaks to the strippers. They let the fucking minority of black women, the worst of us, speak for us. And it's gotten so bad that the kids now, the black girls, they fucking going to stripping, going fucking getting themselves killed, everything. OnlyFans, all that shit been happening. We ain't calling out our community. And when Kevin Samuels did it, they wanted that nigga dead because lies are better than truth.
Mammies and they coddle their.
Wait, y'all gotta go one. Y'all gotta go one mic at a time. Y'all doubling over on each other. So have you finished your point, D?
No, I was just gonna say because Kevin Samuels called the shit out, and black women got mad. Look at fucking Vivica Fox and the Queen's cocktails. These bitches over there laughing at this man dead. I saw it as karma, bitch. That's a motherfucker that look just like your motherfucking ass, and you would sit there. I don't know. Hell no, man. I don't give a fuck what black women got.
Let Let her get in, D. Let her get in.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead,
Go ahead.
Chandra.
Go
Boy,
ahead.
please.
What say you?
Kevin Samuels didn't give a crap about black women. He was a gay black man. That's what he was. And y'all, people who didn't have daddies ran to him.
Shame
He
and
was
some
not
guilt.
doing nothing for our community. And I think, yes, I do blame black women for some of this black community stuff, because a lot of black women coddle their black sons.
Hey, Chandra, let me ask you a question. What did he do wrong to you?
He talked, first off, he talked about my mamas, my aunties, my cousins, my people, my black women.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Talked about our features.
Hold on. I'm going to ask you another question. Just real quick. Son, real quick. Let me ask you a question. Did Oprah talk about black men?
Not really. Not like you talking about, Oprah. I don't give a crap about Oprah. I don't know nothing about her.
This the same bitch that ain't got no man,
have you seen that
ain't
movie
married,
that
and ain't
came
had
out
no
in
kids. But y'all listen to
1988?
it. Hold on. I'm Terry McMillan made a fucking movie called Waiting to Exhale, where made black men look bad. Fucking Tyler Perry make every fucking movie where a dark-skinned black man is the fucking meanest motherfucker on, and a light-skinned nigga come save him. Fuck that bullshit. This been happening for fucking
not
years.
to mention,
Kevin was the first to call it out.
So, but that's the thing. Y'all
wait,
talk
hold
all this
up.
dark-skinned guys
Hold up one
talk
second.
all
Let me
this
get
crap
it.
about light-skinned men, but be in a hurry to make one. So hush it with that.
Let
That's
me
what
get
y'all want. Remember?
let me get in.
Remember
Let me
what
get in.
that dude
I
said?
remember a movie
Kids
called
support light-skinned kids.
The Color Purple. What about The Color Purple? Like they but let's get back to the because see how it always shifts back to black men. The question was, what was the negative contributions that the black woman, we not talking about black man, what did the black woman do? Tony, go ahead, chime in.
I'll say, I have to say this, and Chandra, you probably gonna hate it for me. But that's one problem right there. Black women don't know when to be quiet and let a man talk.
Amen.
And you said,
Not black women, they only accept it from spicy Latinas. But when we do
No,
it's a problem.
because here's the deal.
and
Leadership in the black community starts with the man. If the man follows God, the woman is supposed to naturally follow him. But what we have done, we got pastors in the church that are leading fucking women straight to fucking hell, telling them that they can do whatever the fuck they want. Their husbands have left the fucking church. They're getting divorces. Black women are 70%, the number one is getting a divorce. And they outbeat white women. And they can't, and here's the deal. You can't say that it's fucking abuse. Bullshit, because when we do domestic violence cases, 50% of domestic violence is from women. Not only that, lesbian fucking relationships, it's 55% in lesbian relationships, and they're the worst. They sodomize, rape them, and everything in a lesbian relationship. My whole point is this. Black women have not sat down and listened to black men's mental health problems. Every time a black man says he got a problem, what you do? Well, you don't know how I feel. You make it about you. You don't make it about him. You don't make it about how he feel about his kids. It's always how you feel. And guess what? That's how Kevin Samuels got a bunch of black men, because he understood what they felt.
He got black with daddy issues.
Okay, so Chandra.
Can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead, finish up. Hey, don't nobody cut Tony off. Tony been very respectful. She done let everybody speak their piece. Don't nobody cut her off. Let her finish her point, please. There we go.
Okay, that's the main problem. And those same black women who don't know how to be quiet and let a man talk did not have fathers in their home.
Thank you. Clip it.
I also, let me finish. I also blame black women for the things that they say and do around their children about these fathers. I don't like it. I do not like it, because at the end of the day, you chose that man to lay down with and have sex with him and create that child. He is not 100% responsible for everything. If he leaves, you are still the mother.
But women aren't supposed to raise men.
Wait up, Tony, are you finished?
Okay.
Tony, are you finished?
I'm not
let her
finished. Because I knew she was finna come with that. Women are not supposed to raise men. But if you are a single mother, your job is to keep productive, stand-up men around your son.
Right.
So go hang around men out of the black community. I get you.
All
You go to
men in
church?
the black community are not bad men.
You go to church?
Show me different.
You go to church?
I don't go to church. Mm.
Wait. I want to hear that exchange between Chandra and Tony because I think
Go
we
ahead.
got something there. D, hold, stand down for a second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you trying to say that every single man in the black community is not worthy of raising a little boy
There's not. I'm saying
or guiding him? You're saying that every man in the black community is not worthy of guiding a little boy. So
most
if you have a single mother
of.
and the son's father is locked up, dead, or whatever, he's not there, he's not in the picture. Is it not the mother's responsibility to keep upstanding men around her son? She knows she can't raise a boy. So why not keep upstanding guys around her son?
That's why I
I'm,
said
I'm
means
pretty sure she
around.
works. I'm pretty sure she works.
So
She
how can
has,
you
let me
be
finish.
advising your kids 24/7 when
Hold
you
on,
got
Chandra. Let her finish. Hold
Let me
your thought.
finish.
Write it down or something. Hold on 1 second, and
Let
then
me
you can
finish.
get right in.
If this is a single mother, I'm pretty sure she works. And I'm pretty sure there are upstanding guys that she knows and has built a friendship with that she can send her son off with. Uncles, ex boyfriends, somebody. You mean to tell me?
choose
Because,
from?
hold on. A black woman has at least 3 upstanding guys around her in her life
Oh, okay.
circle. At least 3. At least 3 upstanding guys in your life circle. If you don't have at least 3 black men
No problem.
that's trustworthy and that will protect you and your son in your life circle, you need to reevaluate yourself.
I mean,
I'm gonna chime in for 1 second. I'm gonna let you go. I've heard you yourself say that in our family there are good men.
Mhm.
Correct. So if there are good men in our family, why not expose your son to those good men? So those good men do exist. They exist in your own family. But you're saying no other family has that. We just special.
yeah, I think
Go
we're
ahead.
because the other families I see, they got some messed up
Every
people.
black woman has at least 3 upstanding men in her life circle. At least 3.
It's not, no, I don't.
Not
Every black
nowadays.
woman.
Not
I don't
nowadays.
Hey, go ahead.
I don't
Go
care
ahead,
what
Lamont. Lamont
I
ain't
don't
said nothing in a while.
oh go
Level
ahead.
Yeah,
level
that's
for
why I was
perspective. Go ahead,
pointing.
chime in.
I would say ideally it's supposed to be like that. I agree with you. Every woman should know at least 3 upstanding men, but nowadays not. It's I done heard situations of sisters who had certain jobs that they trying to take. They can't take the job because they don't have a protector to go with them, and they contemplated taking a female with them to serve 2 purposes: one to be watching the kids, and the other one to lay down with her.
And
You know
that's
what I
what
mean?
I'm saying. If
That's
a
bad.
black
That's
woman does
bad.
it's not that hard. If you don't have at least 3 black men around you that are
They don't have it though.
protectors,
They
And
then
don't.
I'm gonna say this too.
then
It
they need to
depends on where you
they need
hang out
to
at.
what I'm
It
saying
depends
is
on where
they
you
need
put
to
yourself.
reevaluate. They
I
need to
can't even
Hey,
name.
hold
reevaluate.
on, D. I'm gonna let you come in just 1 second.
And
I'm gonna let Tony finish. Lamont gonna come in and you next. All right.
that's
All right.
why I'm saying if that woman does not have at least 3, she needs to reevaluate herself. What type of, like he was saying, what type of situations or environments are you putting yourself in that you don't have at least 3 upstanding, trustworthy protectors?
The black community.
Okay, go ahead, Lamont.
I was going to ask the sister that just said that. What percentage do you think have that?
Me in the black communities?
In the black community, what percentage do you think has that? 3 active men in their lives.
Who are upstanding.
70%.
You 70% of sisters.
Yep.
Ooh. In
I don't know where you
2022.
from.
In 2022.
Well,
You got to be talking 85,
what it depends
85.
on.
So you
Look,
can't
it
be talking
depends.
right now.
It depends on what age range are you saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
in 2022, there's
So,
there's there's
so are
there's
you saying the
45
35 and
there's
younger black women?
there's I know a 45-year-old woman, and it's been proven 15-year-old girls who ain't nobody cared about their ass. Nobody.
And that's probably the ripple effect of where they came from. Well, her parents.
But that's there was a girl found there was a girl found from Compton. She was found in Los Angeles. She from a blood neighborhood in Compton. She was found in Los Angeles on the side of the freeway. She was 16 years old.
That's why I said, what age range are
But
we speaking
but
of?
check it out though. Here's the point. She was 16 years old, found on the side of the freeway, dead. And so you mean to tell me from the time wherever she left, that person, the last person that seen her, they wasn't in contact with where she was going. Like nobody in between thought about, hey, where's this girl at? Nobody even heard about it. She had nobody. And that's a
Yeah,
16-year-old.
and D, I'm finna let you chime in. D, I'm finna let you chime in right now. But I think she's saying like you should be in within your life, putting yourself in situations where you are running across upstanding. Because it's not, she may not have them in her life now, but she has encountered some upstanding men. It's like, what did she do with those relationships with those men? I think that's the bigger question. She encountered some upstanding men, but she probably threw them by the wayside for the fuck niggas. Go ahead, D.
Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm appalled that anybody would say that there ain't that many good black men. The reason I'm gonna say that is this. I'm a dad. I got 2 daughters, 1 son. All of them grown, 4 grandkids, okay? My son, he stays here with me. Why? Because I teach my son to work his ass off, pay his bills. He gonna pay a little bill. I'm teaching him how to make sure that he can take care of himself. Here's the deal. I grew up with good black men around me, didn't have my father around me. My mother was fucking abusive and crazy as hell. Here, another issue is what we do is in our community, we got fucking black boys who grow up with mothers who have a disrespectful mouth. And those boys copy their mother's fucking attitudes. And then they go up in the neighborhoods and talk to motherfucking niggas the same way and get their head busted open. And then mama talk about, why you hit my kid? Because you taught this motherfucker not to shut up. And he sound like you. And he got his head knocked off because there's a threat of violence between men and with the police. But here it is. We don't take accountability in the black community. What we do is we sit there and keep throwing the fucking ball in black men's hands and saying, you did it, you did it. Another thing, 51% of black men are fucking single with college educations. These motherfuckers are not all bad. What it is you keep going to the fucking bad niggas. And y'all go to the same niggas. Y'all fuck with the same niggas. Y'all got a baby daddy. That nigga got a 5 goddamn different baby mamas. And y'all go right to the motherfuckers. Y'all and then shit on the niggas who are doing fucking good, who are taking care of their kids, who are fucking making sure their kids get to school. Because black men, the other day I watched a fucking stat. They said black men are the #1 best fucking fathers in the entire United States. Out of all races. They take their kids to school, they eat with them. It ain't my fault that you run into your 1%. Your issue. Your issue is yours because that's who you picked. I got a baby mama that was crazy as fuck. And I still took care of my fucking responsibility. I got put on child support even after taking care of my fucking kid for fucking 5 years of his life in high school. Before that, I took care of him for 2 fucking years when he was in middle school. This bitch put me on child support for $54,000 in back support. Not because I was a bad father, because that bitch was greedy.
But how's that bad? How you get $55,000 in back support?
Hey, Chandra, you gonna speak your piece? No, Chandra, it's your turn to speak. I'm gonna let you know you speak. It's your turn.
That's why she don't have. That's why she don't have 3 men. That's why
say
that right there.
Say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say, Chandra. Wait. Let me just do a little bit of moderation for a second, so this all makes sense when people watch it later. So say what you gotta say, but remember, after you say your piece, the original question was, what was the black woman's role in the detriment of the community? Say your piece, answer that question. Tony next. We good?
Okay. I think part of it for black women's part is they mammy their boys. That's all I see. I see my boys, and then but they raise their daughters to be a ride or die. you ride or die. You do this. They raising girls like that, but they mammy they boys. And I think they raising some bitches. Honestly,
and then they compete with their mamas. Their mamas compete with them.
Hold on, D. We're gonna let her go, Tony, and then whoever want to chime in can come after that. Go ahead.
I definitely roll out Sandra. The black women are spoiling their boys.
Yeah.
They are ruining their girls. I've noticed women are not like the women growing up. I didn't hear my grandma talking about sex. I didn't see my grandma drinking or smoking weed or twerk dancing or or even listening to anything vulgar or explicit. I think where black women have fucked up at is we don't draw boundaries like our mothers and grandmothers did. We don't set standards in the household because the black women today have got so wrapped up in trying to chase a man that they forgot all about the role as a mother. And they're just not built like our mothers and grandmothers anymore. Like I never heard my grandma or mama talking about, I think he cheating on me. We finna go ride down on, I didn't, you know, the shit that they do these days, it is really a whole lot of our faults. Period. I,
Yeah,
I,
I'm gonna
it, the,
chime in for 1 second on that, and then you next, D. So I've seen it. When I tried to get a bunch of black women together to form a homeschool coalition, it was issues. But if they going to go ride on some nigga who cheat, they all gonna load up. They gonna forget everything they got going to go and Chandra know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yep.
You gonna drop everything you fucking got going to go catch that nigga cheating, but you ain't gonna drop everything you got going to put that into your motherfucking children. D, go ahead.
All right, so here's the deal. I dated a woman that she was 48. I was in my 30s. She had two daughters. One was 17 at the time. The other one was fucking 21. The 17-year-old jumped on her mama because her mama compete with her. They have a man. She gonna look at their man. Oh, who he is. She competes with him. And she jumped on her mama. I whooped her ass with a belt. She called the police on me, trying to get me put in jail because I beat her ass. But see, the police put her ass in jail. At the end of the day, what it is you got black mothers. Ask this one question. When you ask a black mother, hey, if I'm your man, can I discipline your kid? You can't touch my babies. They got a daddy already. You ain't gonna touch my babies. Well, how the fuck I'm supposed to lead in my household and your kid can talk to me any fucking kind of way because he see you do it?
Tony, go ahead. What you got on that?
now I'm gonna say something on that. It's a time limit with that now. If we not married and not living together and we ain't been together for a while, no, you're not touching my kids. And I ain't even got no kids. I mean, it's gotta
real quick. Here's the deal. There's a difference between when you know what kind of man you have. Because black women do not vet these men. They don't find out, hey man, did you go to school? How's your relationship with your mother? How's your relationship with your father?
Right.
Do you have credit?
Nobody do that anymore. Like? Barely anybody does that.
What are your goals?
For a black woman to want, that's it. Black men don't have to have no standards to get a black woman.
Not at all.
That's it.
No, these Negroes out here, these Pookie and motherfucking Ray Rays out here, these niggas that ain't doing a goddamn thing. They sitting there smoking weed, goddamn shooting dice, and instead of them fucking going to get their ass a motherfucking job, you got these motherfuckers out here. Instead of going to get a fucking job, they leave their fucking kids with whoever. And then the mama sitting there trying to figure out where the fuck her babies that they at the house by themselves in certain situations. The difference is we're not holding ourselves to standards and accountability. Black women, I'm gonna tell you something. I remember one time I told a black girl, I pulled out some Reynolds wrap, and she said, "What's that for?" I said, "I don't know where you been. I'm putting this on my tongue. Shit, I gotta protect my tongue. Shit, if you want me to do that to you." She got fucking pissed as hell. I was like, "This is amazing how." I'm trying to protect myself, but you want me to believe that your motherfucking ass ain't got nothing. But instead of saying, hey, good going, brother, at least you try to protect me and yourself. No, it was ghastly. The nerve of you to put a condom on, the nerve of you to protect your mouth from the inside of my fucking thighs. No, nigga, I'm trying to protect my motherfucking face. I don't want it to blow up with all kind of bumps on my shit. What the fuck? And I'm gonna tell you something. Not only that, how many times a brother went and slept with black women and they ain't told that nigga to put a condom on for shit? There's 33 different fucking forms of birth control, and they don't want to use none of them. You tell them to take a plan B. I don't take pills. Well, bitch, you about to be in trouble.
Lamont looked like he wanted to say something. Then we're gonna let Chandra chime in.
Now, I was just gonna say, in keeping with the description of it, it says describe the community in its current state. So, how I perceive it in its current state right now is definitely it's a effeminized society. It's based upon women having total rights of everything and abusing all of that. You know, it's a lot. I see a lot of situations where women will talk bad about the child's father, and she'll have the same situation multiple times with different dudes. You know, with different dudes, and it can happen like that. Okay, but the thing is, as society as a whole, is women driven because the men are either AWOL, they either in prison, or they either dead. So you got the women raising the kids,
or they're broke wrist.
Broke wrist, but you got women in the household. Some of them bring another woman in, whether it's a home girl or that's they lover. They doing that. So these boys are growing up and they seeing this stuff and they already kind of like softened down. You know what I mean? And the women, they think that's the way to go. It's like it's like y'all accept it now as what this is how it is. But you'll never take into account that it don't have to be that way. You just have to learn to do your role, not forcibly, but it's like going against your nature, but based on what society is telling you to do. You know
and can
I
I
mean?
share something with the public real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I share something with you guys? This has all been formed. I read a book called The Willie Lynch Letter, How to Bake a Slave. And it said you take a black man in front of a black woman and you quarter him. You throw hot tar on him, set him on fire and pull him apart in front of him and his children. And then you take the little black one and beat him within an inch of his life, but you don't kill him because you need him for economic success. But we want to focus in on the black woman because that's where our money will come in. What you do is you beat a black woman and you torture her until she becomes soft. And once she becomes soft, she'll eat out your hand and she'll let you lay with her. At the end of the day, she'll bring her kids to you and they'll eat out of your hand. By the time that black boy turns 16, she'll raise her black boys to be dependent and raise her black girls to be independent. We'll raise an ass backwards donkey. And if we mix a little bit of white blood in there, they'll neither know each other because that little mixed boy, he don't know shit about fucking a dark-skinned Negro. We'll take the dark-skinned Negro, turn him against the light-skinned Negro. We'll take the short Negro, turn him against the tall, take the old, turn him against the young. This has been going on for fucking years. And instead of black folks getting together and educating each other on the reasons why we're in this situation, we don't know our history. We let them teach us our history. In schools, the education system, it's all fucking white women. These bitches run around sleeping with fucking little kids in school and ain't nobody said nothing. We need more males in the fucking school system. We don't need fucking bitches teaching kids because bitches don't know how to fucking discipline these fucking kids. A man ain't gonna let you talk to him that crazy.
Tony, you next. I'm gonna let Chandra chime in after you, and then we'll see what else we got on our topic list.
Black Knight. I also blame black mothers for that, for our kids not being educated on the real history. Because I myself used to hold African consciousness workshops for the youth, and I dealt with so many silly ass black mothers. These workshops were free. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
They were free. And we provided breakfast. All they had to do was drop their kids off at the center on a Saturday morning for about 3-4 hours to get educated. What, Dante, I had what, a handful of kids?
If that. If that, I remember that.
A handful of kids. They wouldn't even bring them out. Then was throwing block parties to educate the youth on their rights, natural hair care, food, all that. They wouldn't bring them. They didn't come until they started seeing the food and heard the music.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
how it is.
and they
Party,
wanted
party.
to skip. They want to skip the process of getting educated, skip the tables, and go straight to the food.
Mm-hmm.
But the way we had it set up, they couldn't. They would have to go buy a table and get educated before they get a ticket to eat and play.
And I will say this. I'm gonna let you go real quick.
After you, Chandra. Go ahead.
Okay,
D.
I'm gonna say this. I've looked at all the black female feminine coaches on YouTube, and you know what they said? All of them. They said, "Fuck trying to teach fucking black women. I quit." Iyanla Van Zant, April Mason, what's the other lady with Moise Watkins? I forgot her name. All these fucking women quit because they said every time they try to talk to a black woman, they snap on them. And they trying to tell them how to fucking win with a man because the difference is our mothers taught us how to respect a black woman. They taught us, but they've never taught a black woman how to respect a black man. And this is why you got these effeminate ass niggas out here that'll always be like, she right, it's just how you see it, man. You gotta listen to them. No, we've been listening to black women for fucking years and ain't nothing changed. 45 fucking years they've had the reign of the family and ain't nothing changed. It's still the same bullshit. It's
I
time
blame
to
black
stop.
women for these drag queens getting out of
Yeah,
hand too.
they fucking on and
I
on.
blame black women because
Okay.
we
Can I
sit back
speak?
and yes,
No,
bitch,
Yeah,
work,
yeah,
cheering that shit
yeah,
on.
bitch.
but
And then
but
get
it
mad when
all
that
boils
nigga call you
down
a
to
bitch.
whose fault is that how y'all let us take over? We're women.
We didn't.
Be
The
man.
United States government
Man
did.
the fuck up. That's the
No,
problem.
you.
Man
Hey, you
the
got a
fuck
system.
up. If you
Hey,
don't blame women,
Chandra,
that's your
Chandra,
fault. You guys are supposed to be the leaders of the community. You
Chandra.
guys. So man the fuck up. Stop
Listen
being
real quick,
You
Chandra.
gotta take
a
y'all
flirt.
cell
Chandra, you
phone.
can't say man the fuck up when you
Take
got
Yes.
a
y'all
system
phone.
How
that
you
is
gonna blame
protection.
the
Wait,
women?
let me chime in. I ain't said nothing in a
Go
while.
ahead, D.
So what the fuck we gotta do? We gotta go in there and bust y'all with a motherfucking head? What you talking about, man? Like it's that motherfucking easy. Y'all got a whole fucking system that y'all use all the time to pounce upon us. Y'all make that call
Protect
real quick. We
and
done had
provide.
multiple
First
instances
off,
with black women. I got
protect and
something for that.
provide. First
And then the
off.
next thing you know, the house full of police. Come on, man. Come on.
I got a question. I got a
Come
question
on.
for
Come on.
Sandra. I got a question for
Well,
Sandra.
look, okay, well, maybe I need to ask the men in other communities.
I got a question for Sandra. How you think it would feel if it was no police, no social services, no women's services at all? You just have to go off of what the community comes up with.
We don't have a community though. So I mean we have to rely on the white man's community.
We would have one though if women had no
No, he
access
said
to
if
that.
those things didn't exist.
Which means if they didn't exist. They exist through white people, but the black community don't have their own community, you know.
Right. But I'm saying if they didn't exist at all for black women and you had to rely on a community.
Oh, but we wouldn't be protected, we wouldn't be fed, we wouldn't be provided for. And the reason why black women are so supposedly attitude and all this, because we have to be the men. The men left. So we have to man up. That's why we are how we are. I mean, who else gonna raise these kids? And yeah, we may not be perfect, but damn it, at least we there and trying. But
But
we're
what y'all raising them to do?
you
What
guys,
y'all
black
raising them
people
kids
have
to do? What is
abandoned
the
black
final product?
huh?
And
What is the final product? And then
why
Tony,
does
you can chime in on that.
why does taking responsibility and being a mother require you to be masculine?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like you have to be more harder raising a household by yourself because you
No,
have
you
to be the
don't.
mom and the dad. You
No,
have
you
to
don't.
I'm a
No,
father.
you don't.
I ain't
who
never
else
had to.
who else gonna do
I ain't
it?
never
No,
had to do
no, you
that to
don't.
my children.
No, you don't. That's why you need 3 upstanding
Where are
men
they in the
in
black
your life.
community? There's not none of that. That's the point.
They not gonna be
That's
there
the
for you
part how our
talking to
community
them.
is messed up. And
They're
it's
not
a
gonna they're
man's
not
job
gonna
to
be
run a community, not a woman. That's
they're
the thing.
not gonna
Stop,
they're
men.
listen, Sandra.
I'm
They're
sorry, men.
not gonna be there
Stop,
for you
stop
if you
blaming
won't
women.
even
Ask men, ask other men in their community then. Ask a Mexican man, ask a white man, ask a,
look.
You know what? The
because the
Mexican
black
man,
community got no
hey, real
leaders.
quick. The Mexican man can sell oranges on the side of the highway. He can still come home to cook food without his woman hollering at him and a massage. They don't mind.
And so
Those women do
can
not mind.
a working man to a black woman too.
Even in the worst conditions in 1940s, 1950s, even in the worst conditions, Jim Crow, segregation, black women still were submissive, feminine, and kind. They were not like these hyenas today that fucking bark, 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 and ain't gonna bite. And what happens in the black community is black women will fucking push a black man to the point that he does abuse her because she won't shut the fuck up. And then once that nigga slapped the fuck out of her, she calls the other man her
So
real
why are
man.
they doing this to white women then? Why are white women becoming the biggest single parents? Because they messing with niggas.
Who? White women?
The white
White women got their
community,
own
yes,
issues.
because all these
That
white
ain't got
girls
shit to
messing
do
with
with
black
me.
men, they're becoming the biggest single parents. You know that, right? So
White
who's
women.
doing that? They're the new face of being a single mother.
Hey, let me tell
Can
you
Now
something.
I'm gonna
down
tell you
black
why.
women.
I
You
got a
know
stat
why?
for you real quick,
You
real
know
quick, real
why?
quick. I'm gonna
I
let you
got
go.
an answer for
Hey,
that. I got an answer for that.
Tony and D.
For
Tony
y'all.
and D.
I got an answer for that. White women are starting to become single because they trying to act black. That's why.
They're acting like they always act.
That's
So
why.
it's just proving when black
Because they
men use
Did she
trying
their
to
say
act
that?
black.
just like when black men use their shoe, oh,
They
they love
doing
white
they
women
doing
because
this.
they're no that because that's who they are.
They
It's not
doing
that they're
this.
black. They're
They
actually who
popping
they
off at
are.
the mouth.
That's
They
my point.
popping off
They
at the
take
mouth
that
and
attitude.
twerking,
They
and
take
that's
that
why.
attitude if you're a feisty Latina or if you a sassy white girl, but when it's a black girl, oh no, we don't accept that. But they love the
Because
attitude when
you
it
know
comes
why?
from another
Because
race.
you represent us when you walk out that door. Monique told black women not to wear a bonnet, and they went the fuck off on Monique. Tanisha Arnold said, "What can we do to stop the emasculation of black men?" And you know what they told her? Shut the fuck up and sit your ass down. It's
Yeah,
other black women that attack other black women. That's the reason why we can't get shit done. Because you got bitches that
black
don't
women
want to shut the fuck
not
up,
to
and they
believe they
attack black women that are
go
actually
right.
feminine and actually wise. Any old black person. I
Kevin
got an
said
old
those whole
53-year-old
black
woman
women
that I talk.
do not
You won't
believe
let
it.
nobody talk. That's why we fucked
You
up, because you
ain't you're
won't
the
let
one been
nobody
talking
talk.
all the time. You
Hey,
I'm
that's
talking all the time.
can I finish my shit? That's all I'm saying. Is this. You got a 53-year-old woman I just talked to the other day. She said, I tried to talk to these black girls. They told me I'm a fucking pick me. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I'm
Probably a mammy.
just trying to tell these young ladies to close their legs and have some
Hey,
fucking
Most
morality.
black
for
women are male
those who
identified.
don't know, Chandra, could you define what a pick me is? Because that's a term that not everyone is
Okay,
familiar with. Could you define a pick me?
they're black male identified. They like I said, those are the ones who coddle their boys. Those are the ones
No,
who
they're
tell their
not.
black girls, hold him down, be his ride or die. And they excuse everything a black man do and try to put on black women. Their minds, they've been, I was actually kind of a mammy, and I didn't have to realize, like when my son, when we were driving up here to Oregon, and we had to drive 13 hours, and he had his pregnant girl in the car, and everybody, all the black women, they was like, well, why does she help drive? Why does he have to drive? And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I getting on her to drive when she's pregnant and she's a woman? Nah, nigga, you drive that whole 13. And I had to check myself. Like, that's a man. Stop mammying these boys. Make them men. And he drove the whole 13 hours. And then when he got here, he said, Mama, I'm glad that you made me do that. Because he was going to not do it and encourage his pregnant girlfriend to do it. Because all the mammies were around him, like, no, baby, you don't drive that 13 hours. Let that black woman
Just to clarify, a pick me, I'm still a little confused. But a pick me is
black
someone
male identified. Black male identified.
So you mean when a black man and a black woman unite and they identify with each other based off of his problems and her problems together, and that you mean they're educated enough to understand that, hey, he got problems just like me, so I'm going to listen to him and find out what's wrong with him so I can help him help us. That's
So
black men
why
identify.
y'all always need help though? Other men in other communities don't need help. Black men
Yes,
always
they do. They
need
got their
help
woman
from us.
right there. Yes, they do. They got their woman
Because
right there.
raise
They
their
woman don't talk
they raise
crazy.
their women right. Because those
Can I
white men
speak?
are raising their
We
women
just let you
to look
speak,
for
Chandra.
providers.
We just let you
White
speak,
women, no.
Chandra.
Only in the black community where all you gotta do is be a black male to get a woman. In other communities, you gotta come with something. Okay? That's how their women raised. But black
No,
women are the only one raised to be ride or die. Why we always gotta help y'all? Y'all
who
men
raised y'all to be ride or die? Who did? Who did that?
are abandoned mothers. My
Abandoned
mom
mother.
wasn't abandoned,
So
but in the
hold
black
on,
community, it was our abandoned mother and the
So why
mammy.
do y'all? Hey, hold on. So here's the deal. Because I just told somebody this today. I ain't no motherfucking victim in this country. I ain't not at all. Don't nobody fucking make nothing for me but me. Okay? What it is you got a bunch of fucking victimhood mentality ass women running around. Every time a black man says something, you know the first thing y'all run to? Oh, black men rape us, black men abuse us. That's bullshit. 14% in each fucking race has rape and abuse. At the end of the day, it's not all fucking black men that do that shit. It's not all black women. There are black women that sexually assault fucking black boys, but we don't talk about that shit. No, what we do is we laugh at fucking black boys that get fucking molested. Hold on. We laugh at fucking black boys that get molested. Kanye West has a fucking bipolar complex. We laugh at him. Fucking Will Smith is going through hell with his fucking wife. We laugh at him when he cried because this motherfucking woman that slept with August Alsina, a fucking child that had a mental health fucking issue. When fucking Tyrese said he wanted to see his kid and he cried, well, I mean, y'all fucking laughed at him. So don't ask black men why they ain't protecting you because you don't protect him.
He with a black woman. So
Hey,
what
Tony,
got to do with
I
our
see
community?
why now.
Hey, Tony, I think you had some. Hey, hold up, y'all. Tony, I think you had something. Hey, let Tony chime in, and then Chandra, you can come back in. Lamont, if you got something to say, go next. Go ahead.
I don't understand why the black woman be so angry
Y'all
from her.
made us
Let,
angry.
let
That's
me
why
finish.
y'all blame us for everything.
Let me
Anyway,
finish.
we've been
Let me
abandoned.
finish.
We ain't got
I
no
don't
protection. Our men
have
don't give a fuck
Chandra.
about us.
Chandra, have a man left you for a white girl before?
Nope.
Why do you keep speaking on black men going to Latinos and white women?
Because that's all I see online these days. That's all I see. And they try to blame and try to say, oh, it's because black women like this, black women like that. Do you know less than 15 years out of slavery, the black man went to the Supreme Court to marry a white woman? That's the only thing black men have ever been to the Supreme Court for.
Who you following? Because I don't
Right.
see a
I ain't
lot.
never heard that history.
I'm talking about.
Research it.
Wait a minute. You talking about that's all black men talk about is Latinos and white girls. The only ones that I know that's trying to get white girls and Latinos on some shit. They too powder, smoke crack or something.
Most of the men like that are gay.
Because I'm going to tell you something. If me as a black man, I'll fight with a black woman tooth and nail every fucking day. But I ain't going to never go to no other motherfucking race because I love what a black woman look like. I love what a black woman stand for. I ain't never trying to go to no motherfucking white woman and oh, white lady, can you please? No, fuck that. I'd rather fight with them because I don't want to dilute what my child looks like.
That's why I don't see this big surge of black men going to white women and Latinos
Only
that I hear.
9% of black men date white women.
I hear other women talking about.
9% of black
I don't
men
see
date white
it.
women.
Where you live at?
9%.
I'm in Arkansas, and all I see is
Alabama.
Well, you mean you go to Hot Springs? Go to Hot Springs, Arkansas.
all the men in Hot Springs on something. What you talking about? That's why they with white women.
Here's another issue.
That's why they with white women. What you
where
mean?
their population, if
They
their
on
population
ice
of
and
women
and
are missing, they tend to date white women. If they go to schools where they play football and all the kids are white, they tend to go and date white girls. I know because my homeboy, he goes to school and all his sons date as white women. Why? Because there aren't no black girls. They are the minority in that community, so they have to end up dating what's around them. That's why y'all see that. It ain't just because niggas running around just picking white women to throw the middle finger up to black women.
Do you know it's a letter I can show you? I got a screenshot on my thing. I'll send it to you. But they wrote a letter about black men being fetishizing white women, and back in the day, and they were saying that they didn't care about them getting the low tier white women. White men were actually happy that they were doing that because they knew that they was gonna take their money and put it back in the white community, and that's what's going on. They all the rich people, all the rich black men who get money, they don't date black women. They take their money to other communities, and that's why the black community is gonna forever stay down. It's because of the men. And I'm sorry, I know it's about what's black women's role, but women, that's the
Chandra,
thing. We're women. It's not our
Chandra,
job to
real quick,
control.
Chandra.
Hey, D, I'm gonna let you go right quick. Lamont, do we got another topic on that list?
Yeah, I think we on the last one.
The last one, I thought.
No, it wasn't the last one. Delve into who raised this new generation and instilled current value system in our youth.
Oh, we kind of touched on that. What's the next topic? And hold your thought, D. We got you.
All right, that's the rise and demise of Kevin Samuels and the ripple that it has and will cause in the future.
Okay, go ahead, D. Finish your point, and then we're gonna address that last topic.
I'll get out of there. Yeah. So I'm gonna give y'all some stats here. All right. They did a study that found out that even the richest black child in America is still the poorest to the poorest white child in America. Now, here's the deal. Black men make 30% less than white men. Black women make 2% more than white women. It's not set up that way for nothing. It's set up that way because black women are more efficient than white women. And black women will work harder than white women. So what white corporations have done is said, fuck these little white bitches. They ain't gonna Me Too me. We gonna call the black ones in. This is how the Democrats have held on to the black vote forever. Because what they're doing is they told black women to get out your homes. You don't have to respect him. We'll pay you to come and work for us. And you can be submissive to us. Don't be submissive to him because he's a nigger. He's gonna beat you and he's gonna rape you. This is why they put so much money behind fucking destroying the image of a black man. And in the Willie Lynch letter, they said all you have to do is destroy his image and she will follow us. This is what has happened over the years with Terry McMillan, Waiting to Exhale, and all these fucking movies that propagate black men as fucking dangerous, fucking rapists, and everything. When they got little boy, when they got big, when they got good black men that are actually out here. But what happens is you got good black men that'll walk past every fucking day. Oh, he ain't got the nice Jordans on. He ain't got the nicest car. What has happened is the whole system has taught you to only like a black man if he's got as much money as a white man, not telling you that that black man makes 30% less so he can't possibly provide for you the same way a white man provides for his woman.
That didn't make no kind of sense to me.
I know.
What I think what he's saying is the standard. A lot of black women are looking at the standard by which white men provide for their women, and they want that exact same thing when it's not going to happen with a 30% reduction in finance.
White men are dominant. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't dare let y'all enslave them. They wouldn't be in the state that we're in. You know what I'm saying?
You love to go to them.
So do you feel that white men are superior to black men? Because that's kind of what I hear.
I mean, y'all act like white is superior.
No, I didn't act like nothing. I asked the question.
We didn't act like nothing.
A
lot of black men think that white is superior. They even say because they
Chandra, the question is, Chandra, does Chandra feel that white men are superior to black men? That's the question.
Physically, no. But mentally, yes. I think they're smarter. And I think they're more deviant. And they, like I said, they would not have let black men enslave them. I'm sorry. Only black men did that. I think a lot of black men are weak. I'm sorry. It's truth be told. That's all I see in the community is weak ass men.
So from your perspective, the white man is intellectually superior to the black man.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is why we're where we're at, because sound bites like that just let them know that they can continue this motherfucking raffle, because they know as long as our women are against us, guess what? Black man ain't got a fucking chance in hell of building.
I used to be with y'all, okay? And I'll tell you no. I used to love black love and all this stuff, but I'm sorry, over the years, all I've heard, especially the way black men talk about black women, you dang right, I don't give a crap. I don't. Not no more. Not no more. Oh,
you ever go on Tinder?
The ones who were good, didn't say anything. They let the Pookies and Ray Rays, so they call it, run amok in the community without speaking up. So that's your fault. You should have
Hey,
been spoken.
Chandra,
Young
I'm gonna
black
tell
women
you, I'm gonna
praying
tell
against
you,
black men.
I'm
They
gonna
are.
tell you who the first
Let her
ones who
finish your
fucked
point.
it.
Let her finish your point. Were you finished, Chandra? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you where the real issue is, Chandra. See, back in the 80s when I grew up, we was all in the church. We understood that, hey, you respect your mama, you respect your daddy. And the church was the one who held us all accountable. If you came in that church and you were pregnant out of wedlock, they kicked you out of church. So you knew you didn't come to church like that, right? Your grandmama brought you to church every fucking weekend, Wednesday nights, and either Saturday or Sunday. Here's the problem. What happened is fucking church pastors started saying that preaching prosperity and telling black women all kinds of shit in their ear to make them feel good. Instead of holding black women accountable, they preach prosperity. Then not only that, those same black preachers, them fucking crooks and snakes, were sitting there having sex with the fucking members. Meanwhile, talking down on the men that were sitting right there with them. So the men said, man, fuck this nigga, we leaving. We don't want to be here. So the woman goes to church every weekend without her husband because her husband don't want to hear the shit that pastor saying because he's not holding anybody accountable. What he's doing is he's trying to get his nuts sucked. He's trying to get his dick sucked. And the pastor started telling black women everything.
I used to hear my grandparents argue about that every Sunday morning. I swear I used to hear my grandpa say what you just said.
Sunday churches.
Yeah.
I used to hear my grandpa say what you just said.
Yeah.
That nigga in there talking down on me in my face.
Yeah. And then they switched it. They then start telling women that they could preach in the church over men. And men, that was a final no-no for men because men understood the Bible. The Bible said a woman is to be silent in church because she was the first one to eat the fruit. And she's not to be over men. You can teach as a woman, but you teach your children. That's what you're there for. You're a nurturer.
I don't think most Sunday churches really go by the Bible, though. And that's a big problem why a lot of people are atheists these days, because those are fake churches. I'm sorry, they're not even run like the Seventh-day Adventist church. I ain't trying to big up because Seventh-day Adventists are, I ain't trying to big them up either like that. But they have a conference, and all the tithe goes to a certain conference, and they distribute the money. Those Sunday churches, anybody can get a church, and they get all the money. And that's why they driving Rolls Royce and having private jets, because it's no accountability for the
now, Chandra, here it is. What does it say in the Bible? The Bible
all
says
churches are crooked to me.
The Bible says, bring ye the tithes in the storehouse that there may be meat in my house, right? So here's the deal. You got a church on every fucking corner in every city, as many gas stations you got. These motherfuckers ain't doing shit for the community. They ain't helping no baby mamas. They ain't helping no, because the church was supposed to be the welfare system. The church, not the state. And the church said, fuck them. I don't give a fuck. I ain't helping them out. We gonna keep this money. We gonna buy Beamers. We gonna buy motherfucking planes. We gonna buy motherfucking brand new seats in the church for the fucking baby mama over there with 4 fucking kids is hungry now, fucking lights out. They won't help.
Yeah, church gotta pay taxes.
I'm gonna let you go next, Tony. I would say that the church is the #1 extractor of resources in the black community. Like they definitely going and whether you talking Seventh-day Adventist, Baptist, Pentecostal, Catholic, whatever, they go in there and they rape black people of their money. Like that's the whole thing.
They sell
Tony, go in. Go ahead, say what you got to say, Tony, and then we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that last topic.
I was just saying that churches don't even pay taxes. They definitely are government ran and have a propaganda behind them. Definitely.
So it's a bigger scheme, is what you're saying. It's not just, it's not just what we see on the surface. Okay,
it's all in one formula. It's all in the same formula.
And the real quick, before you go to the next one, I remember as a kid when I went to church, man. I had so much fun going to church with the people that was in church. Those people actually fucking cared about us as kids. They brought all the kids from the neighborhood. We all got to sit and eat hot dogs and chill out and everything. And we were protected by the church members. The men were protective over them. The men were married in the church. It's those funky ass, fucking snake ass fucking pastors that killed out every fucking thing in our neighborhoods. They sold us out. And what happens is now the black women don't have anywhere else to go to see masculine men anymore. They go to the church, and this punk ass motherfucker in church, instead of telling them, hey, homosexuality is bad. That's what it say in the Bible. And I ain't trying to be politically correct at all. Fuck it. That's what it is. But what we did is we in the church, we accepted that shit because we didn't want to be cut down. We didn't want nobody to cancel us.
Black women accepted it. Black women accepted. They invited it. They invited their kids into the church.
Pastor got scared of losing funds from
Look,
the black.
Chandra don't like that, but black women.
Everything you say, you put everything on black women. Black women. You sound.
You know why? Because we have more power. It's all our fault.
We're women.
We have more power. I'm not saying that we are more powerful. Listen,
supposed to be the head. So
I'm not saying that we're more powerful than men.
No, I know that.
We get a say so, and everybody listens to us first.
And
so it's our fault.
And black men use us to mule for them, to be their ride or die, to go protest for them, but then they don't want us for nothing else.
What? Well, I've never heard a black man ask us to go protest for them. I don't hear black men ask.
The black man who just got killed by his white woman, the black community, the black women aren't marching for him. His brother is begging black women to go march for him because everybody saw his post of how he was dissing black women and don't nobody want to support him.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. Now, I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you so much. Did you know that a black woman went 10 years back on this boy's fucking Twitter account and found those posts? Now, here it is. That boy was in high school. Hold on, Chandra. That boy was in high school when he wrote that. And kids say stuff. Hold on, Chandra. Let me finish. Kids say shit when they're mad, right? Here it is. That boy probably got picked on by some little black girl. Who knows? Nobody knows. But that black boy never said anything else after that 10 years later.
Nah, he felt that way. He felt the way
that black boy never said anything. It wasn't that. Hold on, Sean, let me finish. It wasn't. Real quick, I'm gonna just let me finish that point. It was not that black boy said anything about black women. Is that he dared to date outside his fucking race.
Okay, now
and I have a problem with men dating outside their race. I sure do. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with black people. Period.
We're gonna move on to the next topic because I want to keep this under. I want to keep this under subject. I want to keep this under 2 hours, and I know that's going to go way deeper. So the next topic was, I believe, the rise and demise of Kevin Samuels and how it affects the community now and in the future. Was it something along those lines?
I love Kevin Samuels. He was fucking hilarious. I loved him. He was hilarious, and he told the truth that would nobody fucking else say to black women.
Damn truth. So black women shouldn't believe they girls when they say that a man messed with them. So you agree with that?
Okay.
Now,
listen.
I'm not saying I agree with everything you said.
I'm gonna let you get in, D. Hold up. Go ahead, Tony.
I'm not saying that I agree with everything that he said. Everybody has an asshole side. We can't just condemn the man to hell because he was an asshole sometimes.
Well, that's where he's going, and God stepped in. So how y'all gonna go against when God? It was his time to go.
But a lot of things, 90% of what he said was truth that black women don't fucking want to hear. I even say the shit that Kevin Samuels say.
So you agree with him when he said black women are the lower spectrum of facial symmetry for beauty. So you agree with him with that too?
I didn't hear that. I said I didn't agree with everything he said. I didn't hear everything he said. 90%.
He was, and he.
Wait, is there anything, Chandra? Is there anything Kevin Samuels uttered that you agree with?
In the beginning, when he used to tell black men they need the man to fuck up, yes. Before he started.
Fucking wow.
Yes.
Clip it. Because it's okay for you to judge black men, but you can't say shit to black women.
Y'all down 3%.
That's
I'm
amazing.
gonna tell you what I agreed with him on. Some of the key points that I've heard him say that I agree with him on. Like I said, our mouths. Our mouths, he was definitely correct
Unless you're a
on.
feisty Latina, right?
I also agree with him on low value women accepting or expecting top value men
He
and
was telling
thinking
a black girl that made 6 figures that she need to down, that she need to date somebody, whatever, because she was average at best. So you agree with that? Seriously?
I'm
I'm
That's
not
down to
saying
2%.
like I said,
I'm
black
not.
women
I'm
have no
see
standards.
that's another
No standards.
that's another
I'm down to
thing black women
2%.
have a problem with. They take one key word and run with it. I said I believe some of the stuff I agree with him on, not everything. Those specific things that you saying, I've never heard him say.
Wait, hold on 1 second. What you say,
Listen
Lamont?
to his stuff,
Wait,
man.
Lamont said something.
I'm down to 2% on this phone right here,
Did
and
I
it's
do you,
plugged in.
the charger ain't working?
And no, it's plugged in. It's just been going down.
You gotta push the button on that little charger to where the blue lights
Ah,
are
it's
on.
on. No, it's on. It's working.
Okay, well let's hurry and wrap this up then. All right. Turn the brightness all the way down. Let's keep it going. And all right, come on, let's do this real quick, y'all. We about to run out. It might just run out on us. So let's
But
go ahead.
I do agree with him on some things, like for example, women who really don't have anything to offer, expecting a man to do this and be that. I agree with him on that. I agree with him on the lady who had 3 kids talking about she's celibate and gonna wait before she give up the goods. I agree with him. That was stupid. You already got 3 kids. Why are you saying you're not? Oh, now a man got to prove some shit after you done had 3 kids. That didn't make sense. I agree with him on that. I agree with him on speaking about black women and being obese. All of that was true. And I'm an obese black woman.
Black men date obese white girls, Mexican girls all the time.
And all the black men that you talk
And
about have a
as a
drug
matter of fact, the
addiction.
obese Mexican girl died on
I've,
top of
I've, I've
her.
never seen a clean, sober, hardworking black man with a white woman ever.
I have all the motherfucking time.
Hey,
Not in no high
hey, my
springs,
man.
girl.
Let my
Not
man say what he was gonna
not in
say.
no high
That's
springs.
all Hot Springs got. Black men don't even mess with black
Let,
women in Hot
let
Springs.
let
All
my
I
man
see
hold on.
is
Let
niggas
my
and
man say
white
what he's
girls.
gonna say. Level. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
All right, look, I'm just say this. Kevin Samuels, even when that woman makes $100,000, okay? Now you got to look at it like this. Only 10% of men make over $100,000 a year. When it comes to black men, it's less than 10%. It ain't even fucking 3% of black men that make over $100,000 a year when it comes to our community as a whole. Now, with that being said, he was telling her, look, you're not a model. You're not fucking gorgeous as hell. And he's going by standards that men go
No,
by,
he's
not women.
going by
Y'all want, hold on, Shankar. Y'all
European.
want men to go by women's standards.
He's
And
going
because
by
women, I hear
European
women all the time
beauty
say,
though.
oh, she's a cute girl. And I hear another man be like, no, the fuck she ain't. Y'all look at women
But he's
different.
going
Yes,
by
because
European
we're not the
Wait, no,
same.
beauty though.
let me chime in
European.
1 second. Let me chime in 1 second because I do hear you. I hear what you're trying to say, Chandra, but we're talking about components such as fitness, which is a
But
Hell,
big
black
problem
men,
in the black
they
community,
don't
which is
care
a
about black
big
women
problem.
being
And that
fit.
has nothing to do
But
with,
they
that's
don't
not a
care about
European standard.
okay,
That's not a
but they don't
European
care about
standard.
black women being fit. Look at all the niggas that talk to these white. Look at Kevin Samuels. He had a BBW die on top of him.
she
So what
wasn't no
you talking about?
BBW.
All that shit he talked, and he was
That's
with a
not
big
true.
bitch.
They put
That's what he
out fake
thought.
pictures. That
That
wasn't
was a
even the
fake
girl he
picture.
was with. Those were fake
That's
pictures.
what I
That wasn't
heard. He
No,
even
was
her.
ma'am. No, ma'am.
That
She
wasn't even
was
her.
not a BBW. It
That
was a
wasn't even her.
nurse. It was a nurse, and she
That,
was very fit.
that
no,
wasn't
he
Yeah.
even her. That picture that they put out was not
They
her. They found
no.
some lady on
All right.
Instagram with the same name, and they associated
So
that with her. That
how
wasn't even
many
her.
black men do you see? The black only hold certain beauty standards to black women. But the
No, they don't.
white women, I be seeing these niggas get wet. Are you serious?
I keep telling you,
She
them
just tells
niggas.
you.
I keep telling you, them niggas have a drug addiction. There is no way in hell
Everybody
that
don't know they have a white addiction.
there's no way
They
in
have
hell
a
that
white
a sane,
They have
sober
a and it's not
black
just white,
man.
the whole fucking
But
world.
I will say this. Like we will put up with some thickness and some extra weight of BBW if we get compliance with that. And that's what we're not getting. Like we'll trade off. Okay. She
She
don't
gotta
look
have
as
some
hot as
quality.
the other girl, but
She
she
gotta have
listen
some quality.
when I'm
When
fucking
are you
talking.
gonna say something in defense of black women? Because that's all I hear. I'm talking to the woman, the only other woman on the panel. Because you sound like these niggas. I ain't heard you say nothing in defense of black women. That's what I mean by that mammy mentality.
All right,
No,
look, can
Go
I
ahead,
step
Tony.
in real
Go ahead,
quick?
Tony.
look,
Nah, let Tony respond
Let
and then
Tony
you come
go.
in.
Okay.
I can't help it if they're telling the truth. I'm not
You're a
siding with
mammy.
nobody.
You're a mammy. That's what you are. You're male identified. You're exactly the woman that the black community have. And we
That's
already
what we're
flocking
talking
to
about
you,
right there. The
but
moment
ain't no
that a
men
black
flocking to
woman
you, are they?
disagrees with another
Hold
black
on,
woman,
D. Hold on,
they
D.
go
No, go ahead.
they
Yeah,
go to
go ahead.
attacking the other black
Black
woman
men don't
because
And
she
like
I
doesn't
agree.
agree with
Look,
your narrative of a
I'm
black man.
overweight. I am overweight. Okay, and what they're saying is fucking true. It's true.
like mammies though. How many of them black niggas are flocking towards you?
Huh?
Said black men do not like mammies. They just like y'all to mule for them. How many of those black men are flocking to you?
I tell you what, it don't matter. I got 7 of them that'll protect me and that I can trust my sons around.
Or
Hey, look,
I got, I got, I,
And that's facts, Tony, because I hope I'm in that 7 at least.
you are.
Okay, yeah.
Ain't none of them
That's
flocking to me. Ain't none flocking. None of them flocking to me, trying to
they
fuck
not
on me
like
or marry me. But I tell you what, if some shit hit the fan, I got 7 niggas
but
that's
ain't
gonna
nobody
protect
wifing
my
you.
ass.
Ain't nobody wifing you though.
I don't care as long as I'm protected. As long as I'm protected and
I
safe.
don't like Kevin Samuels saying.
hey, now let me finish. Can I say? Can I
Go ahead,
finish?
you up.
Here's the deal. Let me tell you something. With black men, there's a myriad of black men. Okay, and the fact that we're trying to pinpoint one identity is wrong. This identity that all black men are Pookie and Ray Rays is bullshit. It's been purported in the media like that over and over and over and over again till you've been programmed to think that every black man is like that, instead of realizing that in your neighborhoods where there's no kind of assistance, there's no kind of mental health places, even in domestic violence and abuse. There are 2,000 shelters for fucking domestic abuse victims when it's women. There's only one for men. We don't talk about that. Here's another thing. Just like when y'all just had that conversation, when you get mad because she doesn't agree with you, then the names calling starts. Then
I'm used to this from black women.
Who raised
Most
you?
black are
The shaming and the insults. Here's the deal. If you were right about what you said, you wouldn't have to shame and insult anybody.
But it's the truth. I'm not saying.
No,
Why
because here it is. I didn't hear that sister shame you or insult you at all. She just spoke her facts. She spoke her truth. And because it wasn't your truth, you attacked her just because she spoke her truth.
So I can't tell the truth. Kevin Samuels can shame.
But that's your truth. That's not everybody else's truth.
It's the truth. That's why she didn't answer to RJ wifey, you know.
That's your truth. That is not everybody.
Do for them, but they not wifing them up. They don't want them like that.
I'm gonna tell you something. There are plenty of people that didn't like Kevin Samuels. We know that. There are plenty of people that love Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels didn't die broke. Kevin Samuels, matter of fact, you had to now watch this. Hold on. Remember we was talking about preachers? A same bitch ass preacher when they're talking shit about the nigga talking about he had to go to GoFund. He had to go around and apologize because them niggas got in his ass. Them brothers got in his ass. You weren't gonna run around talking about a grown man that actually did help people. He did help fucking the community because he made black men understand and black women understand that our image matters.
He didn't do shit for our community.
Well, that's your belief. But he He did teach me to dress in a motherfucking suit and look motherfucking good as a black man. He did teach me to take care of my kids. He did teach me to go back to school. He did teach me to make sure that whatever woman I pick, you got to realize that that woman that you pick represents you, represents your last name, represents your family. That's what he told us to do.
I'm confused.
Instead of listening to him,
I'm confused.
Like y'all take care of his daughter.
We treated it just like they treated Jesus.
Tony, get in.
I'm confused because just a minute ago you said you liked when he was getting in the black men's ass.
He became
now that this
he wasn't famous when he was talking about black dudes. I think he was famous.
But you said you liked
money was.
But you say you liked when he was getting in the black man's ass. Now here we have a black man who's telling you how Kevin helped him, and you're rejecting. You're rejecting everything that he's saying.
Wearing a suit helping the black community. That's dumb.
See,
it's presentation. It's presentation.
Wait,
if a black man,
hold on,
that's all y'all care about.
You see this guy right here,
and we about to wrap this up in a second. We had 2 hours, but D, go ahead, say what you got to say. I'm gonna let everybody get their final thoughts and get whatever they need to say off their chest, and then we'll go ahead and end this. Go ahead.
You see this young man right here? He's 23 years old. This is my son. He's black. He works Forex, made $8,000 in 15 minutes because he knows what he's doing. He studies. He listens to Dick Gregory, everything. He's not the niggas that y'all run into. But see, what happens is this. He's demonized because you won't stand up for him. Regardless of what you see in your neighborhood, you refuse to say, hey, there's good black men, because there's good black women. There are great fucking black women in the United States. But the problem is that our black women, once they try to hold the fucking hyenas that won't shut the fuck up accountable, you start calling them names. Start telling them they ain't shit. They mammies. They pick me's. No, the fuck they not. They're trying to save the community.
Okay, now this is what we'll do. We'll go ahead and go around the table. Everybody can give some final thoughts. We'll start with Tony. Just how'd you like the show, your experience with it, and what is your final piece that you would like to say that you think we need to hear?
I like the show, and I see right now it's gonna be a lot of women hate me.
Real black.
Fuck them hyenas.
All right, D, what you got to say?
Yo, I like the dialogue. Final thought. I love the dialogue, love the conversation. But here it is this. If we can't have if we can't even sit and have conversations like this without attacking each other, without using facts and actual data to understand who we are and where we're at, we are going nowhere. Because here it is. A motherfucker walked in a store and killed 10 fucking people and wasn't nobody there to fucking save a soul. You know why? Because they like it like that. These motherfuckers, here it is. They spent fucking since 2012, they spent all this money on trying to get fucking Young Thug on a RICO case, but they can't fucking corral us white supremacists that are on Facebook and all these other motherfucking social media platforms talking about how they gonna fucking kill black people. But you so worried about praising the white man because he gave you scraps. Fuck that. Have a conversation.
Ooh. All right, wait, hold on, Chandra. Lamont, Lamont, go ahead. What you got?
I enjoyed the conversation. I think some good clips you're gonna be able to use up on here, some sound bites.
Yeah, we that's a whole nother topic. All right,
and it's only 2 black women. Lord, if we get 2 more.
And I would like anybody or anybody who's on the panel, if you have more women, we would like to get a balanced feminine and masculine perspective. I think that makes for a better show. That's why I'm trying to. Lamont and I are trying to stand back and kind of let it happen a little more.
I got an older black woman that I like to put on the show.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll contact me. We'll make that happen. Chandra, how'd you like the conversation? What are your final thoughts on this?
I just think the black community is black male identified. It's like I feel like that's our downfall. Like And I do think a lot of Black women are mammies, and you guys need to go research your history, because obviously y'all didn't know nothing I was talking about, and this is public information, okay? And I think finally I do like the talking points and all this, and I do want to work with my Black people, for like-minded Black people, because I haven't seen them. That's why I'm in the state that I am. But if I could find more like-minded people, I would love to build this community. But right now, I have no hope for the Black community. And I'm sorry, and I think it's on, I know y'all saying what's women's part, but honestly, it's the men. You guys are the head. So if you're the what do you call it? The managers and the crew is doing bad, that's y'all fault.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. But I guess what I'll say, because like we talk a lot of the anecdotal experiences, what I see online and all this other stuff. But I'm right now, me, Lamont and myself are now sitting right here on 69 acres of land that my Black great grandfather secured in 1920 during Jim Crow, when shit was all fucked up. And he took his time, energy, and resources, and he made the situation better for his progeny. Now, when I see Black women in this position that they are now, because y'all making more, y'all making the money, boss bitches, all this shit, how does it manifest in the children? What are your children gonna have 20, 30, fucking 100 years down the line? A bunch of raggedy ass clothes and some fucking nappy weaves? Like, what the fuck is y'all giving to the children? When the men was running the community, we gave something back. Women, y'all are not giving anything back. We don't have anything to show for it. And on that, we'll go ahead and end the show. I appreciate everybody for being a part of it. I would like to do this a little more often. Maybe we do it once a week or something. We'll formulate some times. This is the first time I actually went live on my channel. So that's what it is, man. And I appreciate y'all for being a part. What you say?
Get some younger Black girls.
You get some. You get some. Don't you got?
Yeah, she don't want no more mammies.
I want some
But
younger.
real quick, I just want to say this one last thing. Look, we got to get back to loving each other, because without love, we can't teach our children love. We can't love correctly. We're going to set our children in a worse mental health state that they've ever been in the history of the Black community. We got to stop this shit, because some other people are watching us every day. Motherfuckers we don't even see watching us, and they are plotting. They are making their next moves. So we got to start talking to each other, not at each other, but talking with each other, because this ain't gonna fucking work. Kevin Samuels exposed an issue in our community. That's all he did, and he didn't hurt Black women. What he did? Hold on, let me finish. What he did?
Hey, y'all, wait, hold up. We finna cut this off. Hold your thoughts. We'll get it in on the next one. If you got any topics or anything, we gonna make it happen. We've been on here for 2+ hours. I'm hot than a motherfucker. I ain't got AC out here.
Y'all, I didn't even realize people been coming. Y'all, I didn't even realize people been coming.
Okay, we gonna check. I'm gonna run through that. I'm gonna clip up a bunch of the show. I appreciate y'all a whole lot for taking time out of your day to have this conversation, man. I appreciate that. But we gotta shut it down right now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Peace out. See you in the next one.
Peace.